Sydney Sweeney has quickly become a household name in recent years thanks to her standout performances in shows like Euphoria, The White Lotus, and Sharp Objects. However, her rise to global recognition was definitely different from her predecessors. She's managed to reach the same level of acclaim as stars like Zendaya, Florence Pugh, and Anya Taylor-Joy. Yet, Sydney has taken a distinctly unique route, emphasizing complex, multifaceted characters in both indie films and prestige television, rather than relying on blockbuster hits or franchise roles to skyrocket her into the spotlight. And I would argue that this approach was very much by design, even if it wasn't entirely mapped out from the start. Sydney has made deliberate choices to avoid being typecast, opting instead for a diverse range of roles that showcase her acting prowess. If you look at her career trajectory, it's clear that she's always been about more than just chasing fame or big-budget projects. Her choices reveal a calculated strategy to build a reputation as a serious actress first and foremost, which I think is a smart move in today's ever-changing entertainment landscape. When you examine her early work, you'll see that Sydney started out in smaller roles on television shows like Pretty Little Liars and The Handmaid's Tale. These were strategic choices that allowed her to gain experience and exposure without being pigeonholed into a specific type of role. In Pretty Little Liars, she played a mysterious and somewhat menacing character, while in The Handmaid's Tale, she portrayed a young girl struggling to reconcile her beliefs with the harsh realities of Gilead. These roles were not massive, but they were significant enough to show casting directors and audiences alike that she had range. Sydney's breakout role came with Euphoria, a show that became a cultural phenomenon almost overnight. Her portrayal of Cassie Howard, a teenager dealing with complex emotional issues and a deep need for validation, was nuanced and heartbreaking. This role could have easily typecast her as the troubled young woman, but Sydney made a conscious effort to ensure that didn't happen. I would argue that her decision to take on such a layered character in a series with a strong ensemble cast was a calculated risk that paid off. She was able to demonstrate her ability to handle intense, emotional material while also standing out in a show filled with other strong performances. But it's her role in The White Lotus that truly marked a turning point in her career. Playing Olivia Mossbacher, a cynical and privileged college student, Sydney showcased a different side of her acting ability. Unlike Cassie in Euphoria, Olivia was sharp, observant, and unapologetically critical of the world around her. This was another strategic choice. By taking on a role that was the polar opposite of her character in Euphoria, Sydney proved she wasn't a one-trick pony. She could handle both drama and dark comedy, further cementing her place as one of Hollywood's most versatile young talents. Following The White Lotus, Sydney didn't rush into any big blockbuster films. Instead, she chose roles in indie films like The Voyeurs, where she played a character that was complex and morally ambiguous. This choice was important because it allowed her to maintain her reputation as an actress committed to character-driven stories, rather than jumping into the next big-budget project that came her way. She made it clear that she values the quality of the story and the depth of the character over the size of the paycheck. And I would argue that this is what sets Sydney Sweeney apart from many of her peers. While some actors might take every opportunity to be in the spotlight, Sydney has been more selective, focusing on projects that challenge her as an artist. This has allowed her to build a diverse portfolio that includes a mix of indie films, critically acclaimed television, and even some commercial hits. By doing so, she has managed to avoid being pigeonholed into any single type of role, keeping her career fresh and unpredictable. Now, Sydney is stepping into a new chapter with her role in the romantic comedy Anyone But You with Glenn Powell. This film represents a shift from her previous work, diving into a genre that she hasn't fully explored before. For many actors, a project like this could be seen as a departure from their established dramatic roles, potentially risking their reputation as a serious actor. However, I would argue that Sydney's strategic choices leading up to this film, choosing complex, character-driven roles, have set her up perfectly for this new venture. Her earlier work, filled with nuanced and intense performances, has solidified her reputation as a versatile actress. I think any aspiring actor should take note of how Sydney has strategically managed her career to include both depth and versatility and learn from her approach. So, if you're looking to make your mark in Hollywood, maybe take a page out of Sydney Sweeney's playbook. Focus on the roles that challenge you, that allow you to grow, and that showcase your range. And who knows, With a bit of luck and a lot of hard work, you too could find yourself in her position someday. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.